All right, so let's go ahead and make a optical illusion art. That means it's gonna look like it's moving, kind of. It's gonna play a trick on your eyes. It's gonna make an illusion happen optically, right? So I'm gonna make a dot in the middle, just a little dot so I can tell where my middle is. It's just my visual middle. I don't have to make it super duper straight and perfect and cool. Actually, I want to make it kind of curved. So I'm gonna make a line that goes up, make a line that goes to the right, make a line that goes down. They're kind of curved out like a pinwheel, kind of. They're curving all in the same direction, but they're going out to all four sides, okay? So that's that. Now I can go with, I think 2 or 3 lines between my other lines in each quadrant of my paper. I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting and go with 3 lines in between. I'm gonna go along the curve I already made and just do, that's 2. And I wanna do 1 more because I think that's a nice way to start it out, okay? Then I'm gonna go here and make 3 in this quadrant as well. Okay, we kind of worked in this same way when we did our snowflake drawings, and we talked about quadrants, and when we cut the snowflakes, and we talked about the 4 sections that are quadrants, which is a math word. And if you like math, that's fine, and if you don't like math, that's okay too, because it's actually art. But a lot of art projects can be math related, because space is not only an art element, it is also a math and science element, and I think it's good to think about spatial relationships when you're working on object placement. So there is all my outward moving lines. We've talked about radial design before. That's what this is right now. It's a radial design. It's a design that starts in the middle and works its way out. Okay, now I'm gonna go and make a circle around my dot. Just a circle like that. Looks kind of like an iris, doesn't it? And then I'm gonna make another circle outside of that, and another circle outside of that. Concentric circles are what it's called when you've got a circle inside a circle inside a circle, and that's basically what we're doing. And they don't have to be perfect. We're making what is going to be a wavy checkerboard, so we don't want it to be perfectly straight, but just your hand making a circle is good enough, okay? So now I'm using a flare pen, as you can see. That's so you can see it, but if I were at home and I was trying to make this good, I would start with a pencil and then trace over it if I wanted to use a flare pen or a marker or something. And I'll show you a couple of things I did at home earlier. You know, like when they make a cooking show and they have one already done, so you don't have to wait for it to bake or whatever for the cooking time. Got one already done over there, but when you get out this far, you're going to want to keep your distance separated, and you just go off the edge of the paper, okay? You don't want to keep it on the paper. You want to go off the edge. When you go off the edge, that's going to make it look like it goes on forever, okay? And we just have this little snapshot that's our paper, okay? So you're going to keep making those big rings, big concentric circles, and they're going to go off the page. Some of them are going to go off the page, and you're going to sometimes just make over here in the corner, I'm just making a little traveling from this part of the corner to that part of the corner, okay, just so that it looks believable. I've got a little corner over here that needs just a small line, and that's what I've got, okay? Now, I did that on this other paper too. I've been kind of trying to practice a little and get it right. So I'm gonna use this big chisel Sharpie too, because I wanna fill in space a little quicker so our video isn't 100 years long. That was a joke, sorry. I can't make a video that's 100 years long, goodness gracious. Okay, so that's what I wanted. I want to color in every other box that I made so that it's a checkerboard pattern. And it's gonna look like, it looks like it's going into, it looks like somebody poked it into the middle. It's coming into the middle and it gets smaller and smaller, so it looks like you could just fall right into it, okay? And this is one way to do an optical illusion or op art. They call it op art sometimes, and I'll just call it that just because it's fun to say op art. Op art, op art. Okay. So that is for sure what you do. You just keep going and going and going, and magically over here off to the side, I like to use my flare pen, especially here in the middle, because that's some tiny spaces for sure. And my flare pen doesn't bleed as much as my Sharpie does. Sharpie kind of tends to go everywhere, and I can do these really small spaces inside with this flare pen, which is much easier to do those little spaces. Okay, all right, and I can go make it look like there's some more spaces in the middle just by making some little dots in the middle. Okay, so you could just keep going, do every other square. None of them are really squares, but you guys know what I mean. So here's one I did at home that I messed up on. I'm going to show you the one I messed up on and the other one that I have here in my big sketchbook. This one I goofed, so I cut a little bit of it out because I wanted to I thought I can just get rid of that part and make another one that's got just, it says optical illusion art, and it fits right into that spot that I chopped out like that. So that'll be something I can put up on the board for the kids in the classroom to look at, so they'll know what we're working on, and this will remind them of what we went over. So we're also doing that in the classroom. And then this one here is the one I didn't mess up on, except my marker kind of I got a marker blob from another paper in there, but that's okay. So that is what you have. You have an illusion that it's moving. Oh my goodness. So I'll quit that. That's disturbing. Okay, so that is what we did. We made a checkerboard that looks like you could just fall into it, but it's just totally flat, I promise. Okay, also, I do encourage you to look for some different optical illusion arts that you might want to do. They're all over the web, so get your parents' permission and check it out. And I will see you next time. Thanks for having fun with me today. Bye-bye.